lost in the altcoin forest, don't stress. I'll help you build a bridge to get over it. We've got a lot to cover today, so let's get going. Yesterday in the Fed meeting, what we saw is that we had a 5.5% rate decision, which means that it was unchanged. But what does that actually mean? It means that we have no further relief in the markets. We have got no sign of liquidity coming in. And I'm going to build a narrative regarding what we need to see further upside in the markets. Let's just quickly have a look here. The Dixie, as you can see, actually smashed through this resistance zone over here, which is the top of this range that I have delineated. Now, essentially, when we have a smash up above like this that we see, it's not just a wick. Let's get rid of that. What we expect now is for this to reclaim, retest this as support, and to continue further up. Our first zone here is the SFP of the last highs before a continued assault into this weekly order block. So what would that look like? From here, smash that SFP, come back down, claim this as support, and continue up further. What that would mean is as soon as we have this little pullback over here, our SPX can come and reclaim at least 50% of this fair value gap before it continues its downward descent. Right. What I wanted to show you before we get stuck into the charts is something in EXO, which is our daily profiles. These are daily volume profiles, and all of these red lines coming across here are daily naked pointer controls. As you see, we haven't been able to claim this. It's no longer a naked pointer control. However, it is an area of resistance that I have also shown you on the charts. But what I did want to show you is we have hit this, we have wicked into it and come down, wicked into it, come down, wicked into it and come down. The issue here is for you to have a look at where most of the volume has been transacted. Volume is being the main areas of volume are successively every single day getting lower and lower. That is a sign of weakness. If you can essentially in your mind's eye, just imagine these areas. Let's clean that up. These areas over here, if you claim these areas as support, your price action is going to be on the up and up. This price action here, as you can see, is essentially rolling over. So that is one thing that I wanted to illustrate and to show you before we get stuck into the charts. So we know that there's no liquidity coming into the markets. We know that the Fed has a hawkish stance still. We know that we see the Dixie climbing. We know that we see in the other charts that we don't have any really bullish stance. So now let's have a look at what the actual chart looks like. On the daily, we see, like I showed you earlier, we have these wicks coming up here. This shows you that this is a zone of supply. So we have resistance here. We also see essentially that this price came up here. It has not rotated its full in this range here. This is a healthy range. What you see here is the sign of a pretty bearish, weak kind of move up into here. If it cannot claim this point of control over here, essentially what it means is we have got a weakening in the range. And as you can see, obviously, lower highs as we go. Let us now dive into this chart which I showed you yesterday, which really does show you everything that you need to know for your current day trades and your scalps. So these support and resistance lines are absolutely spot on, and I'll show you how to incorporate the tool that we used yesterday to give you your next plays. But let's just have a quick look before we do that. This AVWAP, we have still managed somehow to keep as our support. For how long? To show you now as we dive into the lower time frames. So without further ado, let's actually just do that, because I'm going to now give you your players. Just don't forget on this medium-term time frame that essentially we are in this zone right here. And we can still continue playing that until such time as we either break down or we reclaim this area over here. So essentially, these are the main lines that you want to keep in mind. Have a look at the 1 hour. Before we even get stuck in, I'm going to show you how simple and easy this tool is. Let's just have a bit of fun. As you can see, as we break up into this area over here, we're just going to pull our fixed range. Same thing that we're going to do over here. As we break up into this area, we're going to pull a fixed range. And then we're going to do one as we break down into this area. We're going to pull a fixed range. And I can actually show you how we are going to, it actually didn't work. I'm going to show you how we are going to be the trades. So yesterday was an absolute scalping bomb. It was unbelievable. But let us just quickly not get ahead of ourselves over here. I also wanted to show you something here before I show you some trades. Here we had what seemed to be a nice little uptrend, right? However, have a look at this. Have a look at this. Once we lost trend, it was a clear indication that we have bearishness. Okay, so keeping on this trend, fantastic. A healthy trend would just continue tracking that line. As soon as we start seeing it break underneath and this line now starts serving as resistance, essentially that beautiful uptrend has been broken, which is a further indication of bearishness. Let's show you something else here. You now have a different kind of a trend that's formed. Okay, what does that look like? Certainly not bullish. All right, and we've got this perfect respect here, essentially. So now that we know where we are, that we have got some further sort of hawkish stance from the Fed, we don't have any beautiful, nice, fresh liquidity coming into the markets, and we've got this grinding sideways kind of price action with a kind of a heavy stance. What are we looking to do? Essentially, until such time as we can claim this as support, we are going nowhere. We're going to be ranging around. Okay, so I do want you to understand that we do have some liquidity that is building in this area over here. So we have got this liquidity pool over here. We have had a longer time since these highs were formed, since these lows here have been formed. So we've got stronger liquidity. What I mean by stronger, there's more volume and more liquidity, more stops have been put under this area than this area over here. So what does that mean? We might have, if we come down, we might have quite a bit of bouncing, like the slow grinding price action down. If we do, however, see a move to the upside, we might have this very quick kind of spike up before we slam back down, or we might see this very quick spike up with some continuation, claiming these as we go. Okay, so there is a pool of liquidity that you do need to be aware of around this 27.8K region that has been built up since we have made these highs all the way back over here. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. But this is not playing with me today. My apologies. But what I do expect is the following. So I did show you yesterday that when we are below our value area lows, we are looking for longs. When we are above our value area highs, we are looking for shorts, right? Do be on the lookout that this trend is weakening. So what does that mean? When we look for longs, just be very careful. I'd actually favor shorts in this zone over here. So let's have a look. We do have this point of control here in this range, and we do have this down sloping trend. So have a look to see if you form a little spike up and a wick into here before you take a sneaky scalp, and then ride it down. I would favor the shorts, and depending on how things go, you can take some profit in and around the liquidity areas and see if it continues down. You can just ride that down and continue with the day trade. And in this zone over here, until we see some break of trend, I would be very careful with your longs. Have a look at order flow and see what things are telling you. Then, if we break down and you can see that we have now, this is no longer a support. We are in this range over here. You do exactly the same thing as I've been telling you. As soon as you are below this value area low here, you can see this perfect support. Support is support until proven otherwise. Resistance is resistance until proven otherwise. So when you can actually physically see you're back into this zone, start playing this range. When we are in this range as we are, just continue playing it. Like I did say, however, you do see a weakening in trend. So just be careful. Right. Then what I want you to know is, talking about ranges, don't forget that we've been in this overall range for quite some time now. All this is, to be very honest, is a deviation, just like this. So what do I expect? What do I expect later on today? It is Thursday, Thursday and Friday, and we've had quite a few moves during the week, which means that most of the big kind of movement has actually already taken place. We have failed to claim this area over here, which does therefore mean to me it is Thursday. We've had our big moves. We've had all the big news, all of the big events. I do see this coming into our range. It's another full rotation, etc. Overall, our major trend is still down. We aren't even attacking this yet. It is still down. So therefore, all things being equal, I do expect that this has just been a deviation and that we continue until such time as we see some bullishness. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. As something I've just spotted is down here, October. September and October are traditionally not the best months in markets, which means that this whole theory does seem to be coming together quite nicely. We have this down sloping trend line that just some kind. Trend lines, by the way, I need to explain something to you. Trend lines are not magic. All they show you is some kind of a market sentiment and where the money is. So until such time as we break that sentiment, break that trend, you just continue. It's exactly the same as support and resistance. They aren't magic lines. They are just there to give you some kind of guidance. So that's the guidance that we've been given. Use it. And with that, I am going to wrap up by telling you something interesting and something exciting. We have had some very, very good response with our challenge. Now, For those of you who don't like money, please stop the stream right now. Please turn off and continue with your day. For those who do like money, join us. Join our challenge. If you want to 10x your account, come and join us. I'll show you exactly how. Yesterday was an absolute dream with scalping. We had some very, very good price action. And essentially, I'm going to show you exactly how to be doing this. You can take a good few trades every single day. I'm going to give you guidance all along the way, and we are going to build our accounts. So if that is exactly what you want to do, please go into the description of this vid. Go and have a look at my Twitter account. Go and subscribe to it and show me some love. Let's make some money together. Cheers.